We're back, YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. As always, I appreciate that. Today, I'm playing Fallout 4. As you can see, still enjoying this game quite a lot. But that's not what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I wanted to talk to you guys about a new documentary that came out recently. It's called Leaving Neverland. And it deals with the alleged child abuse by pop icon Michael Jackson. In the documentary, two now grown men are interviewed. They tell the story of their abuse by Michael Jackson, who is a childhood idol of mine. You know, I grew up with his songs, and a lot of people have grown up during the 80s and 90s when he was this huge pop star. It is a painful watch, this documentary, as it details the abuse, and I kept thinking that these two couldn't make this up. So I think that they tell the truth. But we'll never know, because has not been a thorough investigation. Michael Jackson has never been convicted for the abuse of children. And it's a very difficult situation, because I do believe that Michael Jackson has a very sweet side to him, and that he genuinely loved children. But he might also have this sort of predatory side where he would, well, let's just say that he did not act honorably according to the trust that people put into him as a person, especially the parents of the children who visited his estate, where most of the abuse would play out. On the other hand, we cannot completely rule out that the experiences that these two men share with us in this documentary were colored or one-sided. We don't know the reaction of Michael Jackson. You know, he's dead. His family will probably deny all the allegations. So it's difficult
Make a move and I'll end you, Wastelander.
Find definite truth here. Although again, I do think that you just don't make this up as a person and go tell about it in a
at least
documentary. You know, what do these two men have to gain from that, given the fact that Michael Jackson himself has died? So obviously they're not in it for the money. And concerning the idea that Michael Jackson has never been convicted, that doesn't really say much, really. I think that only tells me that proceedings didn't really go toward a conviction, that there wasn't enough proof, maybe. And maybe Michael Jackson used his fame and money to buy off witnesses or make a deal with them so they would stop talking about it. And I believe that one of these men actually took the stand in favor of Jackson in one of those court cases and denied the allegations.
You're going down, bitch.
And now he tells a different story, which does make you wonder, you know, what happened? Did he get money for it? Is it only now that he can speak freely? These are all questions that are raised as you watch the documentary. And I also think that Michael Jackson himself was abused. You know, this is a person who stood in the spotlight for most of his life when he was a child himself. And he was obviously pushed toward a career in music. And he had the talent, of course, but that stuff will mess you up, I think, if parents or other people, family, are pushing very hard on the child to act or perform. That is just not right. So what I take away from this documentary mostly is that we have to be very careful around children as they, you know, even when we mean well and we do good things, or we think that we do good things, that, you know, children will be happier. But if bad things happen, children will perceive those bad things as very, very, very bad. You know, child abuse will mess you up, will damage you for the rest of your life. Even if it was meant as love intentionally, or it started out as that. But we just have to be very careful around children. You know, we have to give them our best and support and really not damage them in any shape or form, even though we mean well or we don't mean well. But it's just, you know, children don't have protection mechanisms that you sort of develop in the course of your life. Things will go straight into the child, will affect the child, that is unprotected, and that's something to keep in mind. So that's what I take away from this documentary, Leaving Neverland. It's a difficult watch, but a valuable one. And I think the truth will probably never come out, and that's okay, but we can learn from the situation. I'm not going to condemn Michael Jackson because, as I said, he was a child, and he's the person that was very much influenced. I do believe he was a sweet person in its core, but he might have had a bad side to him as well. Like everyone, right? You have strong points and weaknesses. So I will keep enjoy his music. You know, it doesn't make sense not to. But we have to learn from the statements of these two men. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.